Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me for another Batman review. Today it is Season 1, Episode 29, The Bookworm Turns, and this episode has special guest star Roddy McDowall as the Bookworm. And I'm pretty sure the Bookworm is a one-time villain on this show, appearing in just the next two episodes, and Roddy McDowall, who is always an entertaining actor in my opinion, does a very good and entertaining performance here, and this whole episode is actually very entertaining and very well done in my opinion. So we start with one of the darker scenes of the series so far, with Commissioner Gordon apparently being killed, and Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson see this on TV, so they're naturally concerned, which makes them go to the police station. Turns out that the commissioner is alive, but this is all a setup by the Bookworm and his henchwoman. Her name is Lydia Limpet, which is a pretty interesting name. I'll leave it at that. She actually plants a bomb in the Batmobile, which Batman is able to eject. But this shows a pretty dark side to these villains, and that they definitely mean serious business. I always appreciate that. So after the bomb explodes, it leaves part of the book still around. I think it's the book cover, and there's a clue inside. So Batman now knows that this is the Bookworm doing all these things. And it's interesting that once again Batman knows this villain, even though we've never seen him before. Batman definitely knows about a lot of villains. So then we get some scenes throughout the episode with the Bookworm and his henchmen and Lydia, and these are just revealing more of his plan and introducing the character. I thought these scenes were very entertaining, and I also appreciated that Lydia was a henchwoman who was actually working with the Bookworm instead of just swooning over Batman all the time. I always appreciate that. And another thing worth mentioning partway through the episode is we actually get a Jerry Lewis cameo while Batman and Robin are doing some of their usual building climbing. So that was pretty amusing and pretty interesting. Eventually this episode though leads to Batman and Robin doing their normal detective work and tracking the Bookworm, and this leads to an amusing fight with the henchmen of the Bookworm, where Batman says you can't hit a man with glasses, and they take their glasses off before they fight. I thought that was actually genuinely pretty funny. So of course they get away, but Batman and Robin rescue Lydia, who's tied up, but they're very suspicious. They don't really trust her. They think something might be up here, and of course they're right. So they knock her out with gas, of course, because that's what always happens on this show, more knockout gas. So Batman and Robin question her, and she lies as she's trying to help the Bookworm out, but Batman actually knows this. He's onto it, but he says he's going to play along. So he actually leaves Robin with Lydia, which is a mistake because Robin's the one that's not too smart in this episode. He actually gets tricked by Lydia, and he gets knocked out with gas, which seems to be a recurring theme of this episode. And the episode ends with a cliffhanger with Robin in this large bell tied up. So overall, this is a very fast-paced episode. There's quite a bit that happens, and it's just an excellent setup for part two. And I thought the villains were interesting characters. So overall, I give the Bookworm Turns a 4 out of 5, and I definitely recommend this episode for fans of the show, as it is very, very good. So a 4 out of 5 for the Bookworm Turns, and as always, thank you very much for watching.